What's up, guys? It's Jill. We're just gonna call this a blackout video. But I wanted to come on and talk for a second about technology and its invasiveness. Because I saw a post today about smart meters, and someone was asking why should I do this or not do this? And I pointed out the fact that smart meters will allow the utility companies to be able to basically turn off things within your home. So when you have smart meters connected to smart devices, if you are not in a room and there are lights on, or you are not home and there are lights on, or you set your temperature to a certain degree, and the grid, supposedly this is what the utility companies are saying, if the grid is being overworked, or if they don't agree that your house should be at a specific temperature, then they're going to be able to regulate those things and turn things on and off, or turn temperatures up and down. And they've been doing this in Texas since about 2022, which is more interesting because in 2021, we had that big snowstorm in Texas and it took down the power grid. And actually, in a little bit of research, that is not really what happened. The smaller co-ops that carry electricity were not able to pay the fees, the carrier fees that they were being charged, so they just shut down the grid. It was actually a forced action, and a lot of people died during that storm. And then the following year, the smart meters were rolled out, and things started, moving forward, let's say, right? We call it progress. But in a dystopian reality, is that what we want? Do we want to surrender our sovereign control of our homes to utility companies? And the answer is, I don't know. Do I like it? No. Do I think that's okay? No. Do I think that under a dictatorship that could be very, very dangerous? Yes, I do. We already know that in New York City in the summertime, they shut down blocks, of power, but yet Times Square is still full of live billboards streaming LCD and LED ads, right? What are we doing? Why are we allowing these things? Why are we being victimized by corporate consumerism and greed? And when that corporate consumerism and greed is walking hand in hand with those in power, that makes for a very slippery slope for the lower half of humanity. I don't know how to make people understand or to wake people up other than to just keep repeating that these are truths and these are things that are happening and that you can research them for yourself, but you'd have to want to, and you have to be mentally capable of doing so and maintaining your sanity, your equilibrium, right? Your mental balance, because I know that it's going to throw a lot of people off. A lot of people are stuck in this cognitive dissonance where they know, right, subconsciously, but their conscious mind can't comprehend that this could really be a future that we are creating. But if we don't come out of that dissonance and we don't start standing up, then obviously it is the reality we're probably going to get, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And I know it sounds cliche to say, well, Huxley warned us about this and Orwell warned us about this, but guys, they warned us about this. and it's unfortunate, but there has always been prophecy, right? Look at Nikola Tesla. He knew what he was doing. He knew that everything was energy. He knew how to harness that energy. And when it was stolen from him for corporate purposes, then he was made to sound like he was nuts. And here we are, how many years later, 100 years later, going, oh, wow, dude was right. Yeah, guys, dudes were right. So why are we putting Orwell on the burner going, no, That's not going to happen. You're watching it play out right now. The 2030 Smart Agenda is very, very real. Very real. And if you look at Lahaina and you look at the fires that just happened in the Palisades and you look at the new train routes that are supposed to be rolled out through the coast of California, it aligns, friends. It's just, there's this dissonance that we want to believe that our government wouldn't do that, or that, maybe it would be for our greatest good, but surrendering our humanity and our sovereignty is not for our greatest good. And that also plays into being caged away from things like nature, okay, like our national parks being drilled and mined and closed and underfunded and understaffed. Because when the nature is taken away from us, where are you going to turn? Well, then you're going to turn back to the phones, right? To the TV and the technology. This is a technological holocaust where we surrender our humanity to technology, to the people in high places who have the authority to control that technology. What Musk is doing with the implants and the human experiments is called transhumanism. And transhumanism is where people start to become one with the technology. But then there is no worshiping of a God, let's say a Christian God. So that doesn't even align with this Christian nationalism that Trump is trying to roll out, which means that will eventually shift gears to, and it already has actually, if you're really paying attention, it already has, to Trump as a false idol, right? So be careful with that. And I'm gonna pull away from that now, but seriously, you guys, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I know that it's hard to pay attention to, and I know, locally, state to state, there's a lot of things going on, but we really need to be aware of what technology we're surrendering to and where we are surrendering our power. Because what happened today when our governor, well, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow, because there's a lot of cyclical money rings going on too, and where we are surrendering our power, we are still enslaved to other systems. But again, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. So anyways, please look into the smart meters. Look into what controls are going to come down. If you have your home wired through like Hey Google or Alexa Smart Home, post down below. Is it really happening that they can control your temperature? Because I've heard that more than once, or that lights can be turned on and off without authority as long as you have somehow opted in. And let's talk about that really quickly, because I saw this post going around again on social media going, oh, I don't give AI permission to look at my photos, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you guys, there are terms of service to every single thing that you touch. Your carrier in your phone, whatever technology you're using, or whatever internet that you're using, whatever app that you are using, you are signing a term of service agreement. If you are not reading that entire thing, you have no idea what authority you have just given them, which is why things like the Red Note and the TikTok are so dangerous, because Red Note was actually on communist servers. So everyone who ran from TikTok to Red Note signed over all their information when they clicked accept on the terms of service that were mostly written in Chinese, so you couldn't understand them if you did read them, and handed over access and backdoors to all their information and all the pictures of their kids and all of their facial recognition to communist servers. And actually called themselves TikTok refugees. Imagine being an American and calling yourself a refugee to the Communist Party. Brilliant, friends. Brilliant. Okay? But anytime that you are accepting a term of service or you are using one of these apps, you are giving them permission to access all of these things, which is why 5G facial recognition scares the snot out of me. Because It knows when you are driving down the arterial, when you are at the Walmart, when you are in your phone. Okay. Every single move that you make is being tracked. And the 5G facial recognition is now linking things faster than ever. Like minute to minute, they know where you are. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think that's safe? Do you think it's designed to keep us safe? Do you think with the AI technology that you could very easily be placed somewhere or manipulated? Like what could be the outcomes of these that could be nefarious? Not that they are, but just a little critical thinking. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? And I made a video the other morning and I was really picking up, I think, on a lot of collective energy. And I posted about that because apparently just across the parking lot there was a lot of other things going on that day. But I was really mad just about how like technology had failed me and that I had shown up twice and that like the humanity of it had just been removed. And I think that that's where we are, is that our humanity is being removed for a lot of false things, and technology is definitely one of them. And I think I was actually just pulled away from a message I wanted to give you there, which is very interesting. But all right, anyways, I love you guys. Have a good night. Let me know your thoughts and take care.